Yeah. And, I'm seeing Gail's comment here about being in a season of learning how to discern God's voice, um, and how to not, how to feel emotions while not letting them control you. And I think that that's such a good differentiation is emotions are not the enemy. It is okay to feel emotions, but a really awesome way to navigate that is to actually bring that into your prayer life and say, God, this is what I'm feeling. This is how I feel, but I'm willing to let your truth supersede the truth of what I'm experiencing. There is truth, and we often are not experiencing what is true. So we can actually come to God and say, I'm willing to submit all that I'm experiencing. Like, guys, me losing my job was a very intense, real experience. There was a reality where one day I had a paycheck and the next day I did not. And so there was an opportunity to say, and I did not handle this perfectly by any means, but eventually I got to the point where I was able to come to God and say, okay, the reality is that I am afraid and I have stress and I feel overwhelmed by not knowing how to navigate this. And I would rather have your wisdom. I'd rather have your peace. I would rather have your ideas around what's true here. And the verse actually that came to mind before we even hopped on this was in Galatians 4. And I was like, it's a verse about peace, but I don't know if that's really what we're talking about. But the verse actually starts off by saying, um, do not be anxious about anything, but in everything by prayer and supplication with thanksgiving, let your request be made known to God. And then this is verse 7. And the peace of God, which surpasses all understanding, will guard your heart and your minds in Christ Jesus. So he's not talking to people who are not anxious. He's talking to followers of Christ who are experiencing anxiety and telling them, do not allow your anxiety to be the loudest voice in the room. And I would add to that, do not believe the lie that is your job to navigate anxiety all on your own. That is a lie from the devil, that you have to fully manage your anxiety before you are allowed to enter into God's presence. The truth is that it's saying, hey, don't be anxious. Instead, bring all of yourself, including your emotions, to the foot of the cross and allow Jesus's peace to be the thing that guards you from anything that would come to harm you. And that includes all of that exterior, external stuff.